Well, Merry Christmas. We've reached the last game of 1985. The system covered a lot of ground in 1985. Nintendo made their last push with cartridges. Third parties began their feeding frenzy. A lot of historically important games. And we end it all with Penguin-kun Wars. I feel like I've been pretty negative in a lot of the recent videos, but the thing is, the holiday 1985 releases were a depressingly bad lot. And I can't really say Penguin-kun Wars ends the year on a high note. It is a game that I bet a lot of kids had fun with. This game started out in the arcades as a game from UPL, the people who brought you Ninja-kun. And this is an instance where the arcade game is simple enough that you aren't really losing a whole lot in the home conversion. In Penguin-kun Wars, you're controlling the penguin as he plays dojiball. Not dodgeball, dojiball. We'll see plenty of actual dodgeball games later on. Each player has 5 balls on their side of the field, and the goal is to have either all 10 balls on the other side, or to have the least number of balls on your side when the timer runs out. The controls are simple enough. A or B picks up a ball, A or B throws a ball. Initially, you can only throw the balls straight ahead. About halfway through the match, however, this blocker appears and starts crawling back and forth on the field. From that point on, if you're pushing left or right and throw a ball, then the ball moves at a little bit of an angle. The real trick in Penguin-kun Wars is that you can hit your opponent with the balls. That knocks them off their feet for a few seconds and gives you an opportunity to keep pitching more balls across the field. If you do get hit, mash the A and B buttons to get up quicker. For defense, you can hit the balls coming at you with your own ball, and that sends them careening off in another direction. The game is set up in a tournament ladder, and you'll have to beat 4 opponents to climb to the top. All matches are played to 3 rounds, so you'll have to beat the opponent twice to be able to continue. So let's say you get a tie score. What happens then is you go into sudden death, with 30 seconds on the clock and an additional ball added. That black ball is a bomb, and whoever has it when time runs out automatically loses. Between rounds there's also bonus stages. Here you're playing something like air hockey, and if you hit A or B when a ball hits you, you can shoot it back at a high velocity. Not always the best of ideas though, because if your opponent bounces it back, it still has that speed. You get points at the end of this based on how many balls are on the opponent's side. Another bonus round is this whack-a-mole game where you're pitching bombs at them. The bombs only work if the mole comes completely out of the hole. And that's everything you need to know to play Penguin-kun Wars. It's a very simple game. And that simplicity means that there's really only 2 strategies you can try. The first, and the one most likely to work, is locking down your opponent. When you knock someone off their feet, you can pitch another ball at them before they get up. Basically, you can perma-stun someone as soon as they're on the ground. That's something that opponents will use against you as well. The other strategy that you can try is to play for the timeout win. The problem there is that the game tends to be pretty swingy with how balls travel. You'll have 8 on your side of the court, and then your opponent will have 8 on their side of the court, and it goes back and forth like that for the entire game. So what you want to do is keep all the balls on your side until the last few seconds of the match, then throw them all over. Only let the opponent have 1 or 2 balls at a time. The risk here is that if you do get hit, then you have immediately lost that match. Penguin-kun Wars has had a bit of a life past the Famicom. It was remade for the Game Boy with some additional features. That version got a US release as Penguin Wars. And then a couple of years ago, there was a remake for the Switch. An interesting bit of trivia is that the background music in Penguin-kun Wars was actually a popular song in 1985. It's an 8-bit version of Hidemi Ichikawa's Moto Senkin Shimasho. One of the neatest features in Penguin-kun Wars is that there's a built-in 8-player tournament mode. All 8 players have to beat one computer player first, but after that, it's all matches against your friends. I can't say I was super thrilled with Penguin-kun Wars. I feel like it's just a little bit too shallow. It needs a little bit more spice in what it's doing. Whether that's letting players have a little bit more control over the ball, changing things so that one stun doesn't result in an automatic win, maybe giving the balls different properties. It just needs a little something more than what's there to be a good single-player experience. And that said, I absolutely would play in a big tournament for Penguin-kun Wars. I bet it's really fun with 8 people.